Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Finger Guns. Tony, David, James. I am your co-host, Big Swingin' Jimmy, and I'm here with
the tastiest of Tony V.
Oh yeah,
Dave, the destroyer of worlds, and occasionally booties.
Perfect. I'm so glad that you're back, and we're back. We took a brief week off, but we are back with a bonus episode.
Yes, last week's episode was the bonus episode, but somebody fucked up and forgot that it was their anniversary, so we couldn't record. So you got the bonus episode as a regular episode, and now you get the regular episode. This is a bonus episode. As the bonus episode.
We just have fun here. You know what? What does it matter? All of our fans love us anyway, no matter what we do. So
it's true. It's true.
Melissa, I love you, baby. Happy anniversary. I'm so sorry.
No, it's what do you have to?
I'm still upset.
Wait, who are you apologizing to?
Yeah, you gotta apologize to us. I was saving up for the third wedding, and like, what the fuck was I saving for, man?
Yeah.
I had a mortgage to pay, and I didn't pay it because I was saving up for your fucking third wedding.
I thought we were going back to the Dominican, and I'm still here.
Apologies, everybody.
I had to book my own trips and shit. What is this?
Yeah,
lame.
Been getting all of the memories. Memories on Instagram, memories on Facebook for all that week.
That was fun seeing that video, by the way. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. It was
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you.
Lovely.
Yeah. Big shout out to our cameraman Benji.
Yeah.
He did some great work shooting and coloring it. And big shout out to my wife Melissa, who helped at it.
Awesome. A co-edited production.
Co-edited production from Steelhammer.
I love it. But we got a lot to cover in this bonus episode, so I think we need to get right to it. Finger guns, everybody. You ready?
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. Pew, pew, pew. So I don't think we've mentioned, but we got accredited for the Toronto After Dark Film Festival.
We did.
Which was a fun surprise to get. And we got a fun email saying that we got it, and we got access to a bunch of screeners, and that was super lovely. So first of all, thank you for having us, Toronto After Dark.
Yes, big ups to Toronto After Dark.
And
or how do you pronounce TADFF?
TADFF.
Yeah.
Double F. Big ups. And, this episode's coming out on Halloween, so it seems very appropriate that we're talking about After Dark.
Yeah.
Yes. So there were 10 films at the festival. We had 10 features and a lot of shorts.
Yeah.
And then we had already seen one of the films, which was quite nice that we didn't have to see that film again. And then we had, I think there were 4 or 5 that we didn't get access to, so we watched the rest.
Yeah.
All right.
But we got through them all. And also, I guess I kind of want to just give a nice shout out to Christian over at Toronto After Dark, who was just wonderful to work with, getting us all the stuff, putting everything together. I don't know. It was a nice experience. It was a small festival with only a small amount of films for us to have, but it was just, I don't know. It seemed super easy. Yeah. Nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Big ups to Christian. Restore Point was the film.
Correct. Restore Point was the one that we saw
Fantasia.
At Fantasia. Yes. So, we saw a bunch. You want me to
hit us
start this off?
Go for it.
So, first one we're going to talk about is a little one called UFO Sweden.
Ooh, Sweden.
It's in the title.
Ooh.
Did you know this movie was Swedish?
I thought it would be I thought it would be Norwegian.
Did you know the language it's shot in is Swedish? Yeah, I mean, okay, so a little synopsis. A kid and her father are investigating a potential UFO. Something happens, the father goes missing, and the daughter is put into a teenage, a foster home sort of thing. She never really gives up hope that her dad is still alive after being abducted by aliens.
Very Spielbergian.
Very, yeah. And so she, a little bit later on, there's some signs, some things that are adding up to the things that happened around the time that her father disappeared. So she starts investigating them again.
Spooky.
Yeah. And she continues down that investigative path with some help of a little UFO group that her dad was a part of back in the day. And they discover some things.
The titular UFO Sweden?
The titular UFO Sweden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they discover some things along the way.
It wasn't... it was more like happy-go-lucky, right? Like it was more like heartfelt and not as much horrific.
Yeah, correct. Yes, okay. I would definitely say that it's like not the most spooky. I would say it's kind of a blend somewhere between Stranger Things, Nope, Interstellar, and like E.T., Spielberg kind of Close Encounters, that sort
Super
of.
Super 8?
Super 8, yes, to an extent. Yeah. A little bit less so. Super 8 had a little bit more spooks going for it, I guess.
Yeah. Super 8 was basically like fucking light Spielberg.
Yeah. So I would say
this is very...
it leans more towards
Spielberg.
Very, very 80s inspired, very Stranger Things inspired.
Close Encounters.
Very Close Encounters inspired, but a lot more Interstellar than I would say E.T. or...
Is her name Murph?
It is not Murph.
Then
it is Denise, which I kept going, where's DeNephew the entire movie? And they never answered that question.
The joke never gets old.
It never dies. But yeah, it's kind of a blend of, like, it's very obvious, like its homages are right there in front of you. It's not hiding them by any means. And it mostly works. I would say it's a little bit too long at points, or if you feel it, you're like a little bit like, let's get on with it. But honestly, genuinely, there was moments in there where I was like, I was really enjoying their sort of investigative work, their detective work, as they were unraveling the clues and unraveling the mystery. It was like really well, the way it was shot, the way it was paced felt great, and it like moved me along. The music and score were very late 80s, early 90s sort of synth wave stuff, which was very fun.
It takes place in the 90s, right?
It does take place in the 90s, yeah. So, and like
it's a period piece.
Yes, some of the tech that they use, they're like, there's literally one moment she goes, Windows NT 4, that's not even out yet. And I'm like, Jesus, all right, slow down,
slow your roll.
And they're like, oh, this battery pack powers the new Intel Pentium G series. It's like, Jesus. Okay, like, I get it. It's the 90s.
But why that? Product place? Why that product placement?
Great questions.
Intel, like, did it go like,
It might as well have. But yeah, so like the vibes are there. It works pretty well at moments, a little bit blech at times. But honestly, it was genuinely curious about how the entire thing was going to fold out and how the mystery was going to play out. And it's a mostly satisfying conclusion. I can't say too much without spoiling parts of it, but I wasn't super pleased. There's a moment that should have some emotional catharsis to it that I think falls a little flat just because it feels a little bit rushed at the end. But otherwise, it's pretty enjoyable.
It's because they got Windows ME, isn't it?
It's always the downfall.
The aliens brought them Windows ME.
Yeah, the downfall was Windows. But hey, do I recommend it or not?
Yes.
If you're looking for something that I would say is a little bit more like a family-friendly kind of Spielberg-y vibe to it for a Swedish movie, sure. It's fun. It's fun enough. It's harmless. I didn't hate it. Didn't love it. Pretty good.
All right. Tony B.
What's next?
We got a film called Daniel's Gotta Die.
Ooh.
Love that title.
Yeah. Good title.
Did he have to die?
Yeah, he did have to die, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No spoilers, obviously. Daniel's Gotta Die is a film. Imagine that, right? So basically, rich dad, who's played by Iggy Pop.
Okay.
His lawyer, by the way, Bob Saget.
Oh,
lovely.
It's very nice to see Bob Saget back on screen.
Yeah,
his last role, right?
Yeah,
it's got to be one of, if not the last. Anyways, so dad dies, leaves a buttload of inheritance.
Sure.
He writes out most of his kids except Daniel, who's played by Joel David Moore. If you guys know who Joel David Moore is,
Oh, okay.
He's everyone's favorite lovable nerd from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Love him.
He was on Bones too, man.
Grandma's Boy.
But he was also on Bones.
He's also in Avatar. That's true. The Guest.
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
Dave's favorite movie that he hasn't seen yet called Savages.
Oh,
big fan. Big ups to Oliver Stone.
Anyways, big thing. Writes them all out. Only Daniel.
Right.
Daniel is not like his other brothers and sisters who are all malicious, vicious bastards. They're all awful people.
Right.
This movie got compared to Succession. Has no business being in the same sentence as Succession.
Fair.
But that's the line.
That idea
of
family
backstabbing, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Daniel really.
That's never been a thing before Succession, right?
No,
guys?
Succession is the one that's made it the most popular.
Daniel really wants to reconnect with his family. He really just wants to be together.
Sure.
So
is that why he has to die?
The family finds out that they've all been written out of the will and that Daniel's getting all the money. So he wants to honor his dad and honor his dad's death. They all spend a weekend at the beach house.
Oh, all right.
And then the siblings and said lawyer come up with a plan that they need to kill Daniel and split the inheritance.
Got it.
Like I said, it's getting compared to Succession. Succession meets Glass Onion. I saw The Menu meets Glass Onion.
Oh,
how did these movies exist? These ideas existed before. Like I've never seen
Friday.
Like I've never seen a movie where they all team up to bump someone off.
Right.
The movie. Go ahead, Dave.
Continue. No. Do they play the passenger?
No.
Then what's the point?
I know.
Why bring Iggy Pop in if you're not going to play the passenger or anything else by Iggy Pop and the Stooges?
Very true. It's an easy movie. I say easy because it's an easy watch, and you don't really have to think too much about it.
Sure.
The dialogue is like B movie. It's a very B movie.
It's Canadian, isn't it?
It might be. Not entirely sure.
Pretty sure it is. Tony's confident.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It has a lot of character actors in it. I say character actors because a lot of these people you'll be like, oh, it's that guy and that guy. So we got it's Canadian. So it's Canadian. So rounding out the cast, we got Mary Lynn Rajascope. I butchered that. I'm so sorry.
Terrible.
Mary Lynn. Yeah.
So you know who that is, right? Jason Jones. He shows up a lot. He shows up in a lot of other things too.
Sure. Yeah.
You have Carly Chaikin.
Yeah.
Who's more of the TV side. She was in Mr. Robot, if you remember, James.
Yes, I do.
Was she the girl in the sister?
She was the sister. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got Iggy Pop and Bob Saget to round out the cast. So it's a fairly decently good cast. They all do decently well.
Did you ever the director's Jeremy Lalonde?
Yes.
Correct. Did you ever see James versus His Future Self?
Yes, I did.
Or How to Plan a Orgy in a Small Town?
I've always wanted to see that movie, believe it or not.
It's not as raunchy as you think it is.
No, I know. I heard it's really, Canadian one.
I really like James versus the Future Self.
And I wish it was more like that.
Well, Daniel Stern's not in this
obviously.
One, so obviously.
Well, there's your problem.
There's your problem there.
Like David said, that movie was just I like that one better.
No, okay.
This one, like I said, it's fun, it's cheeky, it's brainless. But it doesn't really amount to anything.
Okay.
Right? Like I wasn't really wowed.
Yeah.
But the ending is still kind of funny. I don't want to spoil the punchline, but something happens and it's kind of like a knee slapper.
Imagine that.
It's kind of a knee slapper for sure. But I will say Joel David Moore was very good.
Oh, cool.
I didn't really appreciate his voiceover. I don't think he has a very a voiceover voice. But I really liked his performance. He's just sweet. He's innocent. He's lovable. And he's just very oblivious to everything around him.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So a recommender or no?
You know what? if it's like midnight, you're on Netflix. You gotta just watch something.
Midnight, Tony. I'm in bed at 9.
I know.
This is past my bedtime.
Because you're an old man. You're an old man. Yeah. Sunday was Sunday watch.
Folding laundry.
I love a good folding laundry.
That's where we need to be for sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. I can deal with that. I fold laundry on Sundays. I can watch that.
There we go.
Sick.
Good folding laundry movie.
Amazing.
All right.
What do we got next?
I guess we'll talk about Lovely, Dark, and Deep, the feature directorial debut from Teresa Sutherland.
Yes.
She previously wrote a film that was at Midnight Madness called The Wind, and this film is going to come up again later today. So just wait until we so I'm just Tarantinoing it right now.
We're gonna circle back to Rashomon.
Yeah. But directorial debut. It is about a young woman who becomes a park ranger, backcountry park ranger. She's kind of on like a training sesh in the woods of this mysterious forest where people go missing, and she has a special connection to the forest, and she's not all there, and scene. I don't want to get too deep into the woods. Special
connection to the forest makes it sound like she can talk to trees.
With how many fucking tree shots there are in this movie, she might as well have been able to talk to fucking trees.
I know. She's not fucking talking to trees. She's more like a past traumatic experience.
She had a traumatic experience in the forest, and now she's back.
She's back, baby.
She's back, and she wants answers to her questions.
Yes.
And
solve the riddle.
Solve the mystery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the lead is Georgina Campbell, who was the lead in Barbarian, which if you haven't seen Barbarian,
stop listening
and go back and watch fucking Barbarian.
Scream Queen Justin Long.
Yeah, buddy. And if anybody from Disney and 20th Century is listening to this podcast, we'd love a 4K of it.
Please. Please. Dolby Vision, maybe?
I would love
Give me those rich colors.
I would love that. Scream. I want Dolby audio, man.
Yeah. You need that scream piercing loud.
That scream piercing loud. Christ.
She was very good.
All this to say, she's incredible. She's an incredible actress. I would watch her read a phone book. Like, she's very captivating.
Very.
And like the movie hangs on her.
Yep.
Because it's mostly a one-woman show.
Basically.
But I don't think the movie around her is as good as she is.
No, I think the movie around her is beautiful to look at. Because those nature shots.
If you like looking at the same trees, 27 times.
Do you like the screensavers on Apple TV? You're going to love Lovely, Dark, and Deep. It looks great.
Even the camera work, how that camera fucking moves, man. Yeah. Like it's incredible.
Yeah,
like it's not just fucking trees. It's how that camera is a fucking character.
I'm making fun of it for because the same shot of the same trees multiple times. Yeah. But yes, it does look fantastic.
Yeah. And like that camera takes on a character of its own, right? Yeah. Like the way it moves so effortlessly, and just focusing on her, and like it was a very beautiful movie to watch. I felt like I was looking at the scenery more than focusing on what the story was.
Yeah, and the story notwithstanding, I was fine with the pacing of this movie. It being an 87-minute movie felt right.
Yeah,
I liked sort of the way, especially at the beginning when it was like her. They were dropping hints of like a weird mystery thing going on, but then just sort of that in the beginning bit before things get a little weird, just sort of the methodicalness of like her getting dropped off in the backcountry and then sweeping up the cabin and like getting her thing all prepped and set, like just
duct taping the
sign, and all of that. Like it was just like there was a niceness to that, her going off in the backcountry to explore basically and do stuff. I don't know. I liked the pacing of it, but I agree that when you get into the meat and potatoes of what the story is, it's a little bit
muddy waters. Muddy waters.
Yeah.
It's a little bit muddy to me.
It doesn't come together as well as it does. And when you finally get to the point when you understand what's going on, it's just kind of like, okay, thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah.
And like,
And then there was whatever that ending was.
Yeah.
I watched the ending twice and I still had no better answer.
Nope.
The second time.
I can tell you exactly what that ending's about after the show's over, Tony, if you really want to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not like once it started opening up, and then once it started getting weird and they weren't in the woods anymore, it was strange. And there was one part, I don't know if it's because we were watching it at home versus watching it in the theater, but it was like fucking a Marvel movie dark.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, you're talking
It was
in the
oppressively
caves?
dark.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Like,
Turn up the brightness.
Yeah. My brightness was cranked, and I was like,
You don't need, like,
what?
come on, people, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted more from it.
Yep. Agreed.
But technical points for Georgina, and yeah, I am excited to see what I already lost her name, Teresa Sutherland, right?
Yes.
Teresa,
I'm excited to see what she comes up with next.
Yeah, definitely. I would put her on my watch list for sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wish it was a stronger film.
So we're saying that's a no recommend on that one?
I think it's like middle recommend. Like
Middle recommend.
like it's not a watching laundry movie because you got to pay attention.
No, you got to pay attention for sure. Yeah.
But it's, I think if you're watching for like an up and comer type thing, or like seeing where the future of horror and is going.
Yeah.
Female representation.
Sure.
Like, watch that.
So maybe don't fold laundry while you're watching them, but if you can't think of anything else to watch, throw in Lovely, Dark, and Deep. It's at least worth it. It's 87 minutes.
I was
It's
about
not
to
going
say,
to take that much of your
It is a
time.
90-minute movie, so.
Yeah.
And we are big fans of that.
Sub 90 minutes, we fucking praise that shit. See, part of the technical check marks is sub 90 check. I should note that UFO Sweden was almost 2 hours long.
I did notice that. Yes, I did notice that.
It was points down in that category.
Yes. So that leaves us with our last one, right, Tone?
Yep.
What's next?
We got a film
What's
called Founders Day.
Ooh.
Quick synopsis of Founders Day. A small town is shaken by a series of ominous killings in the days leading up to a heated
Mayoral
election.
There it is.
David, cool. I've been dying to talk to you about this movie.
First of all, before you tell me what this movie is, the moment I saw the poster, I'm like, is this some sort of The Purge spinoff?
No.
See, that's what I thought.
Oh, okay. I'm glad we had the same vibes.
It is political for sure. There's definitely a lot of political satire and a lot of like small town kind of madness and kind of like
with that.
Kind of. I like the setup, and I like there's a key twist in the middle of the movie that I was like, what? Huh? Like I'm like, holy, really? And it's in the middle of the movie.
All right.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
Now is it able to continue forward after getting
it kind of it's not, that's the interesting part, and then it kind of like it's very satirical and kind of like about the chain of command and about influence and about kind of teenagers being shitty to each other.
Sure. And
like some of the kills are gnarly, I guess.
You don't fucking see anything.
I don't know. Girl getting her throat slit was pretty vicious, Tone.
Yeah, but there's other scenes where it's like it's supposed to be vicious and you're expecting there to be blood, but there's nothing. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It's just very odd, and it's oddly paced, and it's low budget but not low budget. So like there's certain parts where you're like, okay, that's very low budget. Okay. But then like the next part won't be.
Oh.
So it kind of like ebbs and flows. Like great work. Like they obviously did great work with the money they had and the budget they had, but it's like, yeah, I like the setup. I like parts of where it goes. I just don't like the execution at all. Okay. And it's got, where did I write it down? Devin Druid, who was in 13 Reasons Why.
Okay.
because I was like, why do I know this guy?
13
and then
reasons.
the lead is Naomi Grace, and she's quite good.
Oh, okay.
She's quite good, but it's not clear that she's the lead until like halfway through the movie.
All right.
And it's not just because people are
Interesting.
getting bumped off; it's that the movie does not make it clear that she is the lead.
Yeah, it doesn't pick its lead.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're kind of left with like an ensemble of a menagerie of characters until it decides who it wants. Okay.
Yeah.
that's an interesting.
And then once it gets into the weeds of the mayoral debate and kind of like how the town kind of rips itself apart type thing, or starting to, it kind of like wraps itself up pretty quick after that. Because I feel like there's definitely more to the movie if they kept going with the town ripping itself apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not enough time spent on the chaos and mayhem.
Yeah.
Too much on the everything else and then the twist.
You're in twist.
Yeah.
Then it's like
It
plays out.
There's a scene right at the beginning of the film. Something happens and the girl runs to go get help. And there's two sides, like literally the two sides of the mayoral debate. The two, like whoever's like supporting them, they're like yelling at each other in the street. And then she like runs in and like, help. And like nobody wants to take responsibility. And they're like, well, we should do it this way. We should do it this way. And that's the beginning of the movie. And then it's like, it doesn't go anywhere, or it doesn't use it to its advantage.
Yeah.
But the mask is really cool.
I really like the mask. I was hoping a lot more for the mask.
And the gavel, like there's like a button on the gavel, and like there's a long blade that comes out of that gavel.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fucking wacky.
Yeah, it's wacky.
I just wanted more. Like it owes so much to Scream, because like all I thought about was Scream during this.
Sure.
I just wanted more.
Right.
And the dialogue was so bad. Dave, I was talking to Dave about it, and he doesn't think the acting was that bad, but it was fucking bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I knew what I was getting into, Tony. Like with the opening of the film,
Buddy,
I knew where I was going.
I knew where it was going to, and I knew what to expect. It just was not what I wanted and what I was expecting. Like I wanted like a good old fashioned slasher movie.
Right.
And what
it's not that.
got was not that.
Yeah.
It's a lot more political.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ugh. That's unfortunate.
And like I said, for some of these kills, I'm expecting blood. I'm expecting like it to be gruesome, right? Because this is what, when you see someone's face like that, right? You're expecting that. And you get a close up of the guy. He's going, you see him do the motions and everything.
Nothing.
But where's the blood?
No payoff.
No payoff.
That's
and when you're watching a slasher movie like that, you want the payoff.
Yes.
You want the gore. Hounds are just like fucking just throw buckets of blood at me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we didn't get that.
Oh, so it was not wet.
No, it was not.
That's unfortunate.
Little letdown.
What's the point?
Little letdown.
What's the point?
There was some, like Dave said, there were some decent kills.
Yeah.
But overall, it was just a little letdown.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But it does get points for the mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the old guy, William Ross, who plays Mr. Jackson.
Is that the
teacher?
The teacher. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of liked him too.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. It's a disappointment.
Okay.
Any way you slice it.
But points for, thwarting the expectations of the audience with that fucking little middle twist.
Interesting.
Hats off to that. I just wish that they did more with that.
Yeah.
If you're going to drop a bomb like that, then you got to finish strong, and it just kind of like whimpers out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I didn't like the very end. I did not like.
No, I did not like it either.
So it's a no recommend on that
That
boy?
one's
I'd skip
a no can do'sville, baby doll.
Yeah, I'd skip that one, unfortunately.
Ted Mosby.
Tony, you said you watched some shorts, so wrap us up for TADFF with some shorts.
So I watched some shorts. I literally just went through the list based on the title.
Okay.
That's fair. That's how most people watch. I feel like that's how the Academy votes for movies.
Ooh, that title sounds fun.
So first up, we got Pool Party. That one was about a girl's pool party.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine that, right?
Imagine that.
Girls getting a little bit bullied. There's something wrong with her. She doesn't want to get into the water. She's getting bullied for it. They go on. They keep bullying. The one girl keeps bullying her, keeps feeding at her and everything. And then lo and behold, the girl doesn't want to get in the water because she's a mermaid. And
I was going to ask if she was some sort of fish person.
And remember how I said that there was a bully?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bully gets a
Also
treat.
a mermaid? Oh.
Bully gets a treat at the end.
Oh. Well, that sounds fun.
That one was really fun.
Wait. Is the girl top half fish or bottom half fish?
Bottom half fish.
Oh, lame. No one ever does the top half fish.
Well, the merman and Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Always voting merman.
I really liked Pool Party. I thought it was really fun. I was hoping something would happen to the bully because, fuck bullies. And it did. Next up, we got Your Money's No Good Here. Mm-hmm. This is about a guy who goes off the deep end after he tries to pay for a meal and someone tells him that his money is no good here.
Oh, that's fun.
That was really
fun. Did you get to eat the meal?
What's that?
Did you get to eat the meal?
He got to eat the meal and everything.
What the fuck's the problem?
He got very taken aback. He was it literally goes through he goes down like a rabbit hole and he does these scientific experiments to try and figure out what the hell's wrong with his money and stuff. And it's really fun. I like the little thing about that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that one was good. Next one, we got Fucking Nuts.
All right.
Okay. This one, girl likes boy. Boy likes girl. Girl's parents does not approve of any of her boyfriends. She really wants to keep this guy, but she's afraid of introducing him to her parents. He gives her no choice, shows up randomly at her house and being like, hey, parents always love me. Let's make a run of this. Let's do this thing. And she's like, okay, what, just to let you know, my parents are a little crazy. He's like, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. What do you guys think is wrong with the parents? After hearing about the title and giving you that brief little overview.
I'm assuming they're either crazy or cannibals or
I was thinking that they're squirrels.
They might be squirrels.
Okay. Try they're actually nuts. Nuts.
They are
a peanut.
I was about to say. Oh no! I was when you leaned into nuts. I was like, they're a scrotum.
No, they're big peanuts. Guys, fuck. This one was a whole lot of fun.
Did you have to pause it and laugh hysterically for a while?
I just kind of sat there and awe, and I'm like, what the fuck? But okay.
I don't know how I guessed cannibals, but they're actually
nuts.
They're nuts. They're nuts. Yeah. Anyways, that one takes a dark turn very, very quickly. It is fucking.
Oh, does one of them become peanut butter?
You know what? I want to watch.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
No spoilers.
That one was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And then the last one is gamesmanship. This one, a little dear and near to my heart, only because the DOP, remember that guy that I told you about at the beginning?
Benji?
DOP Benji.
He
was the DOP on this one.
Tony Rashomon did.
My other buddy, Gautier, who's been gaffer on a lot of my projects, music videos and short films. He was also a gaffer on this.
Is he the musician?
The musician? Yeah. No, he's just a Frenchman who likes lights.
He's not somebody that you used to know?
No.
Somebody.
Thank you.
No, he's just a very, very excellent gaffer.
Nice.
Does he like Gautier, the musician?
I don't know. We should ask him. Probably not. Anyways, this movie, or this short, I should say, is a Christmas movie.
Oh.
It is about a game of charades that takes a very dark turn.
Oh.
Spooky. I will give a shout out to the director. His name is Doug Cook. He's a visual effects artist, and honestly what he was able to do with this, because I know that he did the effects. I've seen some of his work before too. The practical effects in this are absolutely insane.
Wow.
Really enjoyed it, and it does not. You'd think it's low budget because it's a short film, so it is low budget. But like what he was able to do with some of the things that happened, like I'll ruin one thing for you guys. A person's eye gets like ripped out of its socket.
Nice.
And you see everything.
Cool.
It was fucking awesome.
I enjoyed that.
But that's really all I gotta say about it. It was really well done. It was definitely my favorite of the shorts for sure. Only because like I liked how gruesome it was. Like it gets fucking bloody. And it was just fun.
Nice.
That one actually played right before It's a Wonderful Knife.
I want to see that one.
Yeah. So definitely check that one out. Definitely check that one out.
Absolutely.
If you can. And that was it for the shorts that I watched at After Dark.
I think that wraps up Toronto After Dark for us then too.
I think so. Yeah. Big ups to Toronto After Dark.
Yeah. Thanks for having us out. This was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
We look forward to doing it next year, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
It'd be great. Do we want to head on to other things? Do you want to get even more spooky?
Yeah, we might as well. Let's get spooky.
We got a Shudder minute.
Evil lurking deep inside, its darkness knows no limit. So listen closely if you dare. This is the Shudder Minute.
So this Shudder minute, I hear, is not a Tony Baldwin Shudder minute.
It is not a Tony Baldwin Shudder minute.
Gasp. Horror.
It is a Dave Baldwin Shudder minute.
What a twist.
What a twist. And I'm probably going to go a little longer, but you know, it's my first Shudder minute. So,
but also, I know. Well, anyway, introduce what the movie is because I need you to go a little longer because I want to see this movie real bad.
Oh yes. So I mentioned it a few weeks ago when it was in theaters, but now it's on Shudder. It's a little film called When Evil Lurks. Yeah. It premiered at Midnight Madness in September at TIFF.
Hell yeah.
It's from Argentina.
Did you see it at TIFF?
No, we did not see it at TIFF. It was mistakes. Yes. I think we saw 7 of the 10 Midnight Madness movies, but this was one I didn't go see. So again, it's from Argentina. They're something weird happens in the farmland type thing, and these two brothers go find out what happened, and you know, they find something messed up, and then they go to the house beside it, and there's this infected individual who's just gross, and he's like possessed by the devil, Pazuzu. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. And they need like a specific cleaner to dispose of him, and that's the mess they found outside. So they kind of take it in their own hands to get him away from the town with the landowner, and then things take a turn, and well, he's coming. The Pazuzu devil thing is coming for them. And my God, guys, do we have any listeners in Argentina? Because we need to check on them, because this movie is fucked.
Nice.
Like, it is fucking gnarly.
Nice.
Like
it doesn't hold any punches.
No,
and it is
like,
fucking balls to the wall.
Like, I don't know like the nocebo scale, but I think this one like blows it away, because like it goes from 1 to 1,000,000 very fucking quickly.
Shit, yeah.
And just like, it's nasty little thriller, and like nobody's safe, and it's fucking go.
No, go. Yeah.
It's relentless.
Fuck.
And it is. I was sitting there and I was like, what the actual fuck?
Dang.
I literally gasped at one scene.
Oh, yeah.
One scene literally gasped, and I was like, holy fuck, they went there.
Yes.
Does it involve a dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm watching this tonight, boys. Oh my God. We're wrapping this podcast up in like 5 minutes. I gotta go. You gotta get out.
It is it's a journey. It's well shot. Yeah. It's a very beautiful film.
It's well acted too. The two brothers are fucking great.
Brilliantly acted. Yeah. And there's a little bit of CG, but it's a lot of practical. And it's so much more gross because it's practical.
Yeah.
So much nastier. And just there's a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
A lot of yelling and a lot of gore.
I'm getting that.
It's unsettling, and it is definitely one of the top horror movies I've seen this year. We fucked up skipping it at TIFF.
We did.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
The movie is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
And the places that it goes, you're not expecting it to go. The one scene in my head will play rent free for a very long time.
Excellent.
Very long time.
Yeah. No, this movie, I was not expecting this. Like, I heard that it was vicious. I heard that it definitely isn't. It's not something that holds its punches. It goes fucking balls to the wall. And it's so unapologetic.
Yeah. It's the feel bad movie of the season.
All right. All right. I've heard it. The only thing I don't know a lot about it. I've been trying to keep it as far away from me as possible. I've just heard, very glowing things similar to what you've said. But the only thing I've heard of is kind of like a comparison, or at least if someone had sort of compared it to, they called it sort of like the spiritual successor to the original Exorcist.
I wouldn't go that far.
No,
I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
But I like its fresh take on demon possession.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And I like the mythos of like how it comes to be. Cause like you can't, it's very obvious how you get rid of something.
Right.
But you can't get rid of it that way.
Oh, okay.
Right. And I thought that was like a very nice new way of doing this, because like when you see a demon possession movie, when you've seen one, you've seen them all, right? But this one, it brings like a very fresh take, a very new way of storytelling in this kind of genre.
Nice.
And like I said, it's fucking vicious.
Yeah, excellent.
And definitely echoing what Dave says, no one is safe.
Yeah,
no one is safe in this movie.
Yeah, it is. It's unsettling, and it's just very, very well done.
Yeah.
Big ups to this one.
It takes a while. It takes a little bit, like I would say about half an hour to start getting going.
Yeah.
But it's just playing with you.
Yeah. And it's still like unsettling bullshit.
It's still unsettling bullshit. It's still like, what the hell's going on? What's this? What's going on? But as soon as they kick it into high gear in that one scene, once that one scene passes, it's fucking relentless from there. Right. And you're fucking strapped in.
All right.
Yeah. Buckle the fuck up.
Exactly.
Right. But yeah, this is.
But like,
I think I would have loved to have seen this in a theater.
Oh, I would have loved to see. Could you imagine seeing it with the Midnight Madness crowd, or even that crowd that we had for Kill?
Yeah.
Like, James, this is the Nocebo bar, and it completely blew it out of the fucking water.
It's way higher now.
It's
all right.
Like,
so we have a new scale.
Good luck topping.
So we have a new scale. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I liked it a lot.
Excellent.
And yeah, there's definitely some imagery here that's seared into my brain.
Excellent.
Just
love this.
It's unsettling, relentless. Just I don't want to talk about it anymore. Just
fucking watch it.
It's on. I don't know if it's still in select theaters, but it's definitely on Shudder now.
Yeah, sweet,
and it deserves your time
for sure.
Excellent.
Fucking big ups to Shudder for getting this and bringing this out.
Yeah. I'm so fucking excited.
Oh, buddy.
Say no more.
I can't wait.
No more.
I can't wait.
Just text us after the part.
Yeah,
we won't even tell you what part. You know what part.
I'll just send a message. Jesus fuck, and you'll know exactly what's happened.
Know exactly.
You'll know
for sure.
Perfect.
You will know.
Perfect.
And before we get to the main event, I just wanted to mention another film that I got a screener for and watched over the weekend. It's called Freelance, which is a action comedy starring John Cena and Alison Brie. It's from Pierre Morel, who did Taken and From Paris with Love.
Oh, wow.
It's very much indebted to like 80s, early 90s action comedies, kind of like where like the hero and like the weird, like the kooky female.
Yeah.
Kind of like they go on an adventure. Like I was thinking of like Romancing the Stone for a good chunk of the movie. And kind of like that, but then more
trying to piece it in my head. Okay.
And kind of like Romancing the Stone, Indiana Jones, but then by way of the guy is more like, oh, it's John Cena.
Fair.
Like he was part of an elite special unit.
Yeah.
The unit got burned.
I gotta say, when I saw the trailer for this movie, I went, I'm good.
The unit gets burned. He has to go back into the field as a general contractor. And, you know, things aren't what they seem.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were talking about politics and Patriots Day. And this movie gets very Founders Day looks very, it's very, very political. And it kind of gets it's long and there's just a lot of political nonsense about regimes and like Americans like overthrowing regimes for certain, not even Americans, just any country, any wealthy country overthrowing the poor country because they want what they have. Right. And there's some fun action beats, but then it's not a fun enough movie. And John Cena is acting his heart out because I love me some John Cena, but then like his chemistry with Alison Brie isn't quite there because he's hung up on his wife who wants a separation at home.
Oh.
And it's just, like this is a laundry movie.
Oh, okay.
This is most certainly a laundry movie because it's shot fine and it looks fine. It's got John Cena.
A lot of fine going on.
And John Cena's good in it, right?
John Cena's good, and the president of this country is played by Juan Pablo Reba, and he's quite good. And there's a bit part for Christian Slater, and I'm a big Christian Slater fan. And we already mentioned Mr. Robot. Like we're a bit. This is a podcast episode where we're just going to keep going back to certain things. Yeah. It's a laundry movie.
All right.
So, rainy day laundry movie.
Got it.
But I want John Cena to keep
doing his thing.
Doing his thing.
I appreciate
doing his
that.
thing because his charisma is
magnificent. It is very good.
Magnificent. But enough of talking about the smaller films. Let's get into the big hit from this past weekend. Five Nights at Freddy's, the new Blumhouse joint starring Josh Hutcherson and Matthew Lillard.
Yay!
Based on the very, very popular video game series.
Yes.
And from your reactions, boys, I feel like you didn't like it.
I feel that the movie was a pile of shit.
Oof.
And
tell us how you really feel.
Where was the blood?
It was PG-13.
Did we really need this sad poor guy's backstory in a film like this?
No. That I will give you that we didn't need that.
The entire nonsense about his fucking custody battle over his sister, the aunt doing whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
No.
So if you haven't seen the film yet, it's about a young man played by Josh Hutcherson. His name is Mike. He has
who also doesn't look like old. Like he doesn't look old enough to be in the role that he's in.
I thought that was fine. It was more like they don't make it immediately clear that it's not his daughter.
Yeah,
that was where I got a little.
That's what threw me off.
It was like, it's his sister?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
So he takes care of his sister, and he's basically the parental guardian for his sister because his parents aren't there. And the aunt wants the sister for reasons. And he can't
the checks.
And he can't hold down a job because he has PTSD from
a traumatic
childhood event that took place in the forest, because that's apparently
it's the theme. It's thematic tonight.
It's thematic for tonight. So he goes to career counselor, and he ends up getting a job as a security guard at this rundown old pizza joint. pizza entertainment center called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Pizza, a la Chuck Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's very. If you've been to Chuck E. Cheese, think of that.
It's that.
It's that, and he's the security guard. He just has to watch over, make sure nobody breaks in, and just watch the cameras. And apparently, he can't do that. But weird things are going on at this place, at Freddy Fazbear's, and let's. I'm gonna stop right there.
Why? Sorry. Why was this movie almost 2 hours?
That's a fair question.
Why was he fucking trying to Inception himself?
Yeah, I don't think it did a good enough job on that one.
Like I don't know that you hire a night security guard and you have to invent a plot reason for him to fall asleep at work. I feel like you can just do that because he's working night shift.
I just don't know what, buddy, sleep during the day.
Yeah.
The dream theory stuff. It complicated itself for no reason. No reason. I don't play the game, so I can't speak to that. But my understanding of the game is that you're watching the cameras and you're trying to ensure that the animatronic monsters don't get you. Yeah. By any means necessary. That's my understanding of the game. Yeah. And the first one was like a point and click game.
Basically.
So props to them for at some point, gets there. And the look of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is pretty great. There's a lot of... The set design is great. The set design is great. The look of the animatronics are great. They did a lot of work ensuring that fans of the game would be happy with it. Yeah. But on the flip side, they're also saying that this movie was made for the fans, which I think is a bullshit excuse. No. Because you want to entertain the fans, but you also want to bring in new fans. And I don't think this movie does that for anybody over the age of 18. Absolutely not. Over the age of 25. I'll give them 25.
All right, absolutely not. Yeah, this did absolutely nothing for me in any way, shape, or form. Even the weird setup for potential future movies at the end. Again, I was just like, oh, fuck yourself. I'm never watching a sequel of this movie.
I didn't even understand it. I didn't even understand that credit sequence. What the fuck? You saw the mid-credit scene, right?
Yes.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
Isn't that the same thing? Don't they have that recurring motif where that thing keeps showing up? It keeps showing up. It keeps showing up, doesn't it?
Maybe.
You know what? The lamest fucking twist of all time.
Oh yeah,
that. To me, I know a lot of people are talking about how it's like a gateway horror movie for young adults, kind of like that. It's not too scary or not scary at all.
It's not.
But kind of like, hey, this is my first horror movie type thing. In that respect. Okay.
Baby's first horror.
First horror.
My first beer.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. Doesn't explain why it's so fucking long.
No.
Doesn't explain why it takes forever to get to the stuff you came for.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. To speak on that, I was watching it with a friend of the podcast, Stefan, and we both looked over at each other.
Stefan, I'm sorry. I'm getting to Ninja Turtles, I promise. Continue.
Anyways, we turned and look at each other. It was about half an hour, 40 minutes in, and we're like, what the fuck do we care about this guy? Give us the goddamn animatronics. What is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it
What? There's some fun transitions too. I like the transitions.
Yeah.
Continue.
Fair.
This movie just made me upset. I came for the death.
Yeah.
The deaths.
It teased you up at the beginning. You're like, oh, ooh, it's going to be very gruesome. And then,
no,
it's not.
It's not anything like that. And say what you want about his name, Josh Hutcherson.
Hutcherson, yeah.
Man, he can't do it on its own.
I think it was fine.
No, he can't. He can't do it on its own. a lead role, like a lead like this. He was just so uninteresting. He was just a whiny bitch. And
well, Tony, if you suffered the same kind of trauma, you might be a whiny bitch too.
you know what, man? He was fighting in the fucking back lines with Katniss. Okay, like don't give me that shit.
And the female lead had a very, very, very passing resemblance to Jennifer Lawrence.
I don't think that was coincidental, Dave.
Yeah.
Because
He looks good against people that look like this girl.
Because I was like, Katniss?
I did not like this movie.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
And I did dislike that it was just like, it just kept building up the mystery. And then by the time you got there, you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted the movie to end at that point.
Yeah.
Like fucking, they get to the big...
Solve the mystery.
Yeah.
A third of the way through the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Good job, Scoob.
and Matthew Lillard was fucking Shaggy. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I disliked it. But I didn't hate it. It was fine for what it was. This is another like folding laundry movie. I know that the
I
internet
don't even want to fold laundry.
I want to avoid it like the plague. And
the
never
internet
see
is
it.
very upset about this movie, and the fans are coming after the critics for saying it sucks. But it wasn't made for them. It was made for the
just
fans.
scared of the fans.
Oh no, I'm not scared of the fans.
We'll see tomorrow. And
Dave's got his X reputation to uphold.
All I know,
We'll see what happens on his X feed tomorrow.
Yeah.
all I know is I was expecting putrid shit, and I just got something that
You had
was
low expectations.
I just got something that was dull with flourishes of something better in the background.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm just going to go there and say it. This movie was already made a couple years ago with the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, but Nicolas Cage, Willy's Wonderland. That movie wasn't very good either.
But even that movie was
But you know what? I'd watch Williams Wonderland over this fucking movie any day of the week.
I think that's the problem, though.
Yeah.
I think that's what you were expecting.
Yeah.
Was something a little like more tame of Willy's Wonderland, which also had a very junky reason for things happening, but at least it was cleaner than this movie.
Yes.
That's just like
with way less fucking baggage.
yeah, this movie had a lot of baggage, had a lot of junk in the trunk.
At least Willy's was simple.
But that's not what the game is. The game's not him just going up and fucking them up.
Yeah.
True.
The game is like, it's a stealth game where you're trying to avoid dying.
Sure, and again, and that's fine, but it's. I think my main sticking point is always going to be the fucking plethora of suitcases I had to hold for Josh Hutcherson in this fucking movie.
Yeah, there's too much.
There's too much nonsense.
There's too much baggage.
Yeah.
They just needed to just make it a lot cleaner. You can have the same mystery and whatever, but like just make it cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just streamline it. You get rid of 20 minutes. It's quicker.
Make fucking what's her nuts his daughter. Call it a day.
Exactly.
He's playing her brother, but he looks like he's 40.
Exactly.
Right.
He's
It's just
like, just
so
make
odd.
make it the daughter. Something happened to mommy. I got to take this shitty job, and scene.
Done. Boom.
Done.
Here we go. Now he's got to survive in this fucking horrific wonderland of Freddy Fazbear's.
But like, I think the problem is like one of the co-writers is the guy who created the game.
Yes, and of the 5 writers on this movie.
Yes. It's one of the guys who created the game. I need his name.
Also, I gotta say, since we talked about Expendables 4, I tend to count the amount of producers too. This is an 8-producer, 5-writer movie.
Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Scott Cawthon.
Yes.
So I think that's also a big problem, is that he didn't want to kill his darlings.
Sure.
And he wanted to pump in as much as he could fan service wise.
Yeah.
Because like, even as a non-fan of the game, I was still picking out like, oh, I bet this is a reference to something.
Yeah.
I bet this is a reference to something. And apparently at some of the screenings, they got excited to see the YouTubers who cameoed in the movie. And I was like, cool.
I hate this movie even more now.
So great. Yay.
But it's written and directed by Emma Tammy, who directed The Wind, which was at Midnight Madness in 2018.
I see what you did there.
Which was written by
Teresa Sutherland.
Look at that. Look at it come all back.
So we all come back.
Look at that.
I haven't seen The Wind, but I'm assuming it helped to get this movie. But big ups to her and big ups to Blumhouse for what they pulled off and getting it popular. I don't really know I want a franchise out of this thing.
Nope.
I feel like the first one says enough.
Yep.
But all of that said, at least we get some nights at Freddy's where shit goes down. It's not like Mortal Kombat, where Mortal Kombat doesn't happen. They're just training. They're just training for it.
True. At the very least.
That's true. That's true.
So at least we get that.
Yeah.
And at least in Mario, he goes and fights Bowser.
Yeah.
And he looks like fucking Bowser.
Yes, exactly. It's not a weird
Hopper.
Bowser origin story.
Yeah. But yeah, there is a lot of junk that could have been taken out. Did you guys like Matt Lillard?
It was nice to see him again.
Right.
Nice to see him again.
I like that he's coming. He's having a small comeback.
Yeah.
Apparently, he might be in one of the new Scream movies, which is because he didn't die. But I also think that it's just because kids these days don't know how heavy TVs were in the 90s.
Yeah.
And how he does not have a head or face
definitely
anymore.
no face left. But okay.
Because if you get hit with an LCD right now, you might just get injured.
I might get a slight concussion.
A slight concussion. One of those
If my
TVs.
75-inch falls on me, I'll probably be okay.
Yeah. It won't be, but you'll probably be fine.
I'll
But
have
yeah,
problems.
that tube TV that was like a 20-inch thing, it's probably heavier than we are.
Yeah.
Collectively, the three of us is probably heavier than the three of us. That landing on someone's head, he's not coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, gateway horror, sure, but for anybody over the age of 25 or anybody who's not a fan of the games or actually likes violent horror movies, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Chuck it in the bin.
That's a Tony rating right there. Chuck it in the bin. You could take that one to the bank.
I bet Josh wouldn't be happy with you.
You can roll it up and just do the old Kobe into the trash.
I still do Kobe, and Quentin says it now too, but I realized he's not going to have any idea who the fuck Kobe is.
Nope. He's not. Poor guy.
He's going to know who LeBron James is, but not Kobe.
If I have anything to do with it, he will not know who LeBron James is.
He has LeBron James toothbrushes, man.
It's LeBron James.
Fuck LeBron James.
Easy.
There is a lot going on this podcast that's going to get it.
We're taking a lot of opinions here.
And we still need to talk. We still need to check in on our Argentinian fans.
Are they okay?
Are they okay?
Do we need to send help?
Are they okay? We need to know.
Please tell me they defeated the demons.
Jesus Christ. But since we missed it last time because of Doofus's fucking wedding anniversary, let's talk about another film that the internet loves right now. It's called Killers of the Flower Moon. It is by Maestro Martin Scorsese.
The maestro himself.
It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone. It's based on a true story about the Osage Nation in the 20s and how prosperous they were because they found oil and all of the shitty white people who descended upon them to get the money for themselves.
No love for Jesse Plemons?
Apparently the book was more about how the FBI started, but they decided, and DiCaprio was supposed to be Plemons' character, but they thought it was more interesting the other way.
Well, I'm glad they did that.
And as well, it's not a white savior movie.
Exactly. It's not.
Right?
Definitely not a white
It's
savior
just about
movie.
shitty white people.
Yes.
Absolutely abhorrently shitty white people.
And I know Scorsese got... he consulted with the Osage, and he kind of made their characters gave them more gravitas.
Yeah, for sure.
Because apparently the relationship between Ernest and what's Lily's name in the movie?
I'll tell you in a sec. Lily's character name is
Molly. Apparently Ernest and Molly are only a small part of the book versus being like kind of like the key to the whole movie here.
Well, then I like that change a lot.
I like that change a lot too.
I do too.
I understand the appeal to go for, you know, the founding of the FBI and investigating this murder case and all of that. I understand. And I could also see how that movie would be interesting if handled correctly as well. Something around the founding of the FBI would be kind of cool anyway. But this definitely was the better choice.
I thought so too. So you liked it.
Oh, I fucking loved it.
Tony B, what did you think of it?
You guys are going to hate me if I say I like The Irishman more.
I'm just listening to whatever you have. Speak your truth, Tony. Speak your truth.
Whatever it is, man. We don't hate. At least I don't.
We just appreciate.
Don't get me wrong.
Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you. I almost choked.
Don't get me wrong.
Just as bad as Joe Russo at this point.
No, fuck Joe Russo, okay? Fuck that man. That man needs to get the fuck off social media, go make another couple movies, and just stop talking.
I'm sorry, I'm in the dark. What?
Oh, man. I'll show you after what Joe Russo did. Joe Russo was throwing... No, he was throwing shade at Scorsese, and he needed to not throw shade at Scorsese.
You know who needs to be banned from social media?
Joe Russo?
Joe Russo.
Yeah. Well, Joe Russo... If Joe Russo comes up with one original movie that I actually enjoy and not whatever the fuck Cherry was, then he can talk.
If Joe Russo... Are you not a big fan of The Gray Man?
No.
If Joe Russo can make a movie that's bigger than any of the fucking Avengers movies he's made,
those don't count.
Then he has a right to talk.
Those don't count.
He's not going to make that movie, Tony. Don't even pretend he's going to make that movie. I just want him to make something with streaming money that's better than The Gray Man and Cherry.
Yeah.
But he needs to, and he does need to top framing a scene shooting through Tom Holland's asshole. Okay. That is a stroke of genius. I'm going to give him that, but
he gets one. And I don't even know if that was his idea. Maybe that was Anthony's idea. I don't fucking know.
He gets one.
He gets one. But not enough to fucking stand on a soapbox and talk about Scorsese.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. This movie, amazing. What Scorsese was able to do, the set design, production design, all the practicals. That was not CGI. That was not a set. That was them out in the fucking field.
Yeah,
they
man.
built that shit.
Yeah.
He used that 200 billion.
You could see the dollars being spent.
But somebody in Hollywood needs to go up to Marty and be like, Marty, you gotta wheel it a little bit in, pal.
I wouldn't leave it. Don't put it all at his feet. Thelma Schoonmaker has been his editor since Raging Bull.
Yeah.
If you're gonna blame him for the length, you might as well blame her too. And she has three more Oscars than you do. So shut your mouth.
Tony, I have to disagree on the length on this one. I know we are a podcast that loves 90 minutes or less. Yeah. And this is very much 206 of those minutes. But I loved every fucking minute of this movie. The pacing of it worked so well for me. It's methodical to a fault. And it just unfolds its story. You watch these people getting shittier and shittier as the movie goes on in such a slow way that you almost don't see it happening until you hit a point where you can't ignore it anymore, and you're just like, what the fuck? Is everyone just a fucking asshole in this movie? And yeah,
Molly's not.
Molly notwithstanding of this, when I'm talking about, when I say asshole, I'm talking about every white man in this movie.
You know what the dark thing about Molly is? Molly fucking knew everything was going to happen. And like, you can see it in her eyes that she is slow, that she knows that she's slowly, like, she's not going to come out of this. Like, shit is going to go sideways. She knew DiCaprio was like, you know, a snake from the beginning.
Absolutely.
I do love the ad-lib line where he's like, that was an Indian. I don't know what you said, but it must have been Indian for handsome devil. I loved that.
Perfect.
Yes.
But I also like the scene. I really loved the scene where Molly was talking with her sisters, and it was all in their native language, the Osage language, and they were like talking. They're all saying these white guys, like, they just want our money, they just want to do this, they just want this. Well, why don't you leave? Well, mama needs love too. Like, I want to get a good dick, and that just spoke so much volume, because they know that these people are bad, but they're still human and they still have needs.
But even to that, and yes, I agree that they knew that they were bad, but I don't think they knew how bad.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Like, I don't think that even that is like, yeah, okay, they want our money, fine, whatever. I'm gonna have a good life. I'll get laid, have kids, whatever. Yeah. These white men want our money, fine. They'll have it when we pass or whatever the fuck. But I don't think they understood the depths of depravity that they would stoop to in order to take that money from them.
Yeah.
That I think was like sort of the more telling thing of like, yeah, she knew he was a piece of shit, but she didn't know how
big of a piece of shit
he really was.
Well, even to say that, at that point, they still needed like a white person's signature to get money out.
For some of them, some of them did, right? Some of them. So Molly was on sort of that plan where she needed a guardian because she was labeled incompetent.
Yeah.
So she needed a guardian in order to even do that. And then there was the other fellow.
Her first
husband. Yeah. Who also,
I'll get his name because I thought he was amazing in the film.
Oh, there's so many performances in this film that I don't know if we're pivoting to that yet. But anyway,
we'll get there.
Yeah, that entire thing of, just the structure of this town, how some people were fine, some weren't. The shittiness of white men is the alternative title for Killers of the Flower Moon.
And I think it was I know some people have an issue with a white guy taking this story on.
Yeah, but I think if anyone who kind of says that and then says that without watching this movie doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
That's fair. And I think by framing it kind of on Ernest and King, when he's like, call me king. By framing it on them and kind of like the Osage aren't supporting at any point like there's still a big part of it, but using them as the through line type thing. I think it's more important because you're like, these people are shit. And it's not like Goodfellas or Wolf of Wall Street where like there's a little bit of
romanticizing them. It's not romanticizing them.
It doesn't romanticize them at all. Like from the beginning, like someone complained that like, oh, the mystery was solved in 20 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, it wasn't a mystery. You know they're shitty from the beginning. Yeah. And you're just watching how deep they get and how nobody's listening to this entire nation of or group of people that are getting systematically murdered because of fucking racist, indignant fucking white guys.
Yeah, well,
and I don't.
We can lean on, and I mean, there's definitely a level of racism involved, but it's definitely more like, oh, fuck them. They don't get to have this kind of money. How dare they stumble into wealth?
There's still an element of racism to that.
Yeah, of course.
And to your point about romanticizing, anybody who gets killed in this movie, it's very quick.
Yeah,
and it's not like it's the same level of Scorsese brutality, but like I don't think it was as brutal as his other movies that are very, very fucking like in your face. This is fucking gory. This like no, I want to say Johnny Sack, but that's not it. Carbone in the meat truck.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Like, you're not good.
I was gonna say Billy Bats
or Billy Bats.
Yeah,
and I think that there's more weight to the murders. That when you see them happen, like there's more weight to them than fucking Carbone in the meat truck or Billy Bats.
Dude, I'm still thinking about that In the Forest autopsy that they were fucking performing where they're just hacking that body open. I was just horrified watching it.
I'm glad that didn't go on for too long.
Yeah.
But like, again, I'm thinking this is going back to my point about a white guy taking on this story, but I think that there is enough relevance.
Yes.
And there's enough respect given to the Osage that it's not being glorified at all.
Yeah, I agree.
So I've been wanting to say this for a while type thing, and I didn't write it down in my review, but I wanted to really get that point across.
Yeah.
And I think my bigger thing is that if an Osage, a member of the Osage, took this movie on to direct it, they sure as shit wouldn't get $200 million to make it. And I don't think it would go to a mass audience. I don't think they would get the number of eyeballs on it learning about something they probably didn't know about.
Yeah. Unless they had a brand name with them, like either producing or the acting in it. Yeah. That movie would not get as much.
Or it wouldn't get made.
Or it wouldn't get made.
Like the Scarlett Johansson movie where she was supposed to be transgender or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That movie, since she had to drop out, that movie didn't get made.
Yeah.
But if it did get made, she's the headliner or whatever, but it probably would have had a whole lot of transgender talent in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It,
sorry, soapbox over. Continue.
Yeah. I think it was made with the correct amount of reverence and respect, and I think it's very clear about the message that you need to walk away with, and what you need to understand about what happened, and the fact that this happened, and the fact that none of this is being exaggerated. This is as true as it could possibly be. Well, taking some cinematic license, reframing the story a little bit to expand parts, but yeah, it is very clear. Sort of who you were supposed to root for, regardless of who your through line is. And sure, so Scorsese approached it from a through line that he could understand as well. And I think that works too, because he didn't step on anything. He consulted with the right people. He got the right people involved to help make this film what it was. And without romanticizing anything, without whitewashing any of it, and giving you sort of the most actual brutal representation that you could possibly have of this, where even at 3.5 hours, I honestly could run it back. Like, let's go again. I'm ready to watch and see if I pick up more of the depravity that maybe I missed of sort of the hiddenness of it. Talent wise, fucking aces.
Yeah.
Lily, especially
Lily Gladstone, heart and soul of that movie.
Holy fuck.
Heart and soul of that movie. She, just the anguish and the physicality of the second half of her performance. Yeah. It's grueling, and she's so fucking good.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I heard a lot out of Cannes that she was amazing in it. And at the beginning, I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And then as it goes on, I'm just like, okay, I see it.
You weren't meant to see it.
I see it.
Yeah.
I see it now. And I thought her chemistry with DiCaprio is great. And I thought she held really her own against fucking DiCaprio and fucking De Niro.
Yeah.
And De Niro hasn't been this good in a long fucking time. He's good in The Irishman. He's better here.
Yeah, I would say that.
He's so good at being a fucking
bastard. He's a bastard.
He's an evil person.
He's an insidious bastard.
Insidious. That's the word I was looking for too. Just on the surface, he seems so calm and friendly, but
you see it in the first scene, man. Yeah. The first scene, you see it. He's he's kind of friendly, but as he keeps talking, you're like, oh no, he's not friendly. Yeah, he's a fucking shit.
Yeah. But even later, they tell you that he's still friendly, but they still trust
he still
him.
Think he's a fucking friend of the Osage. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I don't think he's been better than that in a long fucking time.
Also, Leo's great at playing a mostly dumb man.
Bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
I think he would, out of the three, I think he's the weakest, but I don't think it's a weak performance.
No. It's just when you have to rank the other two.
Yeah, when you have to rank the other two. I also think that there was a little bit, I know we already said it's 206 minutes. That's pretty long for a movie, but I think that there needed to be a little bit more at the end, or at least building up to the end. Because when he finally decides he's going to do whatever he ends up doing, I kind of wanted him to have a little more to it because it just seems so easy.
Yeah.
And I do wish that there was more attention paid on his kids.
They were just kind of names that kept coming up every once in a while.
Right?
Like, at least towards the end. There was a little bit more in the beginning, and then it just kind of became, they exist, but don't worry about them.
Yeah, I think they needed more with them.
Yeah.
Because I think they were more important than they let on.
Yeah. Speaking of sort of that, if you go ahead.
I have more people I want to speak about.
Sure.
So the first one, William Bellow, who played Henry Roan, who was
Henry. Yes, we're talking about them.
Who we were talking about earlier. He was very, very good.
Very good.
And the one who I wish we got more, or before I get to her, Jesse Plemons.
Obviously,
it was Jesse Plemons. I love seeing all the memes now where they have him going to the door, talking to De Niro, and he's asking about Frito-Lay.
Oh gosh,
Frito-Lay gets the money.
Yeah.
Tantu Cardinal, who's Canadian. She was the mother.
Oh, okay.
She was. Oh, I just lost her.
I liked her performance too.
It says Lizzie Q, but
Lizzie Q. Yeah.
I thought she was terrific.
Yeah.
And like her with the owl.
Yes.
Like I thought
Very
that was
good.
great. Also that
Big
owl.
shout outs to
Big
that owl.
shout outs to that owl.
Yeah.
Little performances from John Lithgow and Brendan Fraser. I didn't think Brendan Fraser was over the top at all.
No. Also, just I knew they were in it, but it was just like, man, I know it's 206 minutes. When are we gonna? Oh, here we go. Way deep at the end.
Yeah.
So if you guys are big John Lithgow fans, shout outs to Josh Fumo, our super fan Josh Fumo. John Lithgow's in it. I promise you, sir. You just gotta wait. He will show up. I know how much you love him.
And then Scott Shepard, who played Ernest's brother Byron.
Yes.
He was a real shit weasel.
Yeah.
And then I love this guy's name, Louis Cancel Me.
Oh yeah. He played the other guy.
The other guy who kept who kept winning. He just kept winning.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I just love it. Oh, that was helpful.
That did nothing, bud.
That did nothing.
You're missing somebody.
I'm about to say somebody.
Yeah.
But the one who I wanted the most from, who delivers in every scene they're in, but I wanted more, was Cara Jade Myers, who plays Molly's sister Anna.
Oh yeah, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
She was incredible.
Electric.
She was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. So fucking good.
Yeah,
and I wish she got used more. I know why she wasn't used more, but she is fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's really, really great.
She's so fucking good in the movie. Like, I love Lily Gladstone. Don't get me wrong. She's the best performer in the movie. Fucking Cara Jade. Damn.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
She brings the heat, and that's for sure.
Like, I don't want to throw around the word Oscar at all, but like, if there's like a surprise nomination, it's her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's her.
I could see that.
Sleeper for sure.
But and then the last, or at least my last point that I really wanted to talk about was the ending, the very ending, the epilogue. What did you guys think of that?
I liked the message that it was going for, of kind of this, we're talking about whitewash, sanitized sort of thing. And that is exactly what it was. This whole story, forgotten to the times, becoming a simple radio roadshow attraction that becomes this weird animated sort of murder mystery for the masses to consume. But that is all it is. And you don't know what actually happened or how it went down. It was sort of just condensed and sweetened and TLDR'd down to its essential notes and given to the masses as like a pulp story. I like who they got in that, including the man, the myth, the legend, Martin Scorsese coming out
loud when
himself.
He popped up.
Also, it was fun where I looked at the screen and went, oh shit, it's Jack White. And I was like, that's fun. How the fuck did he get in this? But okay.
I like that it, like every other movie that you would watch like this, it would just be like the text.
Yes.
The text.
And this was the text.
And I liked that he did it differently.
Yep.
And he kind of like answered to the critics who were like, you shouldn't tell this story type thing, where he's kind of coming out and saying like, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Or this is what became of this.
Yep. I also
I couldn't stop. I still can't stop thinking about the ending.
The gravity of that ending, still the way it punches you, is brutal. Just reading out her obituary too, brutal. Can't. And then sort of like that final shot after that epilogue of just kind of moving out from like the drum circle with the Osage people was just like,
and Robbie Robertson's score was great.
Yeah. Just like no
R.I.P.
I got no notes on it. It's such an incredible ending to a 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah. I really fucking loved it. I was in awe of it. It has flaws, but it doesn't need an I don't think it needed an intermission. I think it moved quick enough without it.
I didn't have to pee. I made it all the way through and I got a large popcorn, a large drink.
Oh, I probably had to pee, but I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what it was. I definitely peed after.
Because, I was sitting there and I was just like, huh. And everybody's leaving and I was just watching the credits.
Yeah.
I was like, this has been 3.5 hours and I'm still sitting here. But yeah, it shook me.
I was ready for a fun aside.
I was ready for it being like, I knew I was going to enjoy it. I just didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did.
Yeah. I appreciated the theater experience also being kind of reverential too. It was not, there was no, in the screening that I was in, there was no loose cannons in there that were just fucking, I didn't hear a single peep out of anybody.
Good.
Just very respectful of the movie. Also, I got to see it with Tony and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, I heard.
That was a lot of fun. I was sitting in my seat a couple rows up. I was in J4, I think.
J4, my favorite seat.
It's a good seat. So I was hanging out there and I was just eating my popcorn or whatever. The trailers came on. The Napoleon trailer came on and I look up and I'm like, is that Tony and Melissa? It is Tony and Melissa. So I waved. They didn't see me. I felt very cold shouldered and I was like, oh, well, maybe they don't want to say anything.
I was like, Scorsese, they were in the zone.
Yeah. And he was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I just grabbed all my shit and I walked down and I scared the shit out of Melissa, who thought I was like trying to get in the row and like it was some like random person. And then she saw it was me and was like, oh my God, a friend. And so then I watched it with them. It was great. It was nice.
I watched it alone.
I'm sorry, Dave. You should have come to the 12:30 Sunday screening.
You also saw it a month before us.
It's true. I did see it a month before you.
should have come to the 12:30 Sunday screening.
It was right after TIFF, and I was like, I'm done going to the theater for a bit. Hey, you want to go see Killers of the Flower Moon this week? Yes, I do.
I got 206 minutes.
You know what? Yes, I do.
I had to clear out a Sunday to see that movie.
That's why I preemptively planned.
Right?
Yeah. That's why I was glad that I saw it.
I almost didn't see that movie because my fucking hot water heater went on the fritz, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna see this if I miss this window. Fuck! Like
that's how I convinced Alyssa to let me go, because I was like, hey, it's 3.5 hours, and I'm going to see it no matter what. So I either see it now or I see it later.
Nice.
I either see it now when it's convenient, or I fuck with your Sunday in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Why'd you like The Irishman more?
I just, the problem, this movie, I just don't see me actively trying to watch it again. I think once was enough. I think I'm leaning more towards The Irishman because that's classic Scorsese, and I like classic Scorsese, like gangster Scorsese.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. You guys kind of cut me off, but
I'm sorry.
That's why I came back to you.
It's all good. I like the movie. The movie is fantastic. Really, really well done. I can't see myself going back to it ever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I'll probably see it like again in like 10 years maybe, but like when you're thinking about
clear out a Sunday,
when I gotta clear it a Sunday, but when I'm thinking about rewatchability and like you know, Scorsese's one of, I don't need to tell you guys, Scorsese's one of my favorite directors. Like I'm pretty sure I know
it's one of the best of all time.
I know Goodfellas like cover to cover.
Fair,
right?
We're literally calling him Maestro, Tony. We understand.
Yeah. Totally.
I just don't. It's the same. It was the same thing about Silence. Silence was an excellent movie. Very well made. Very excellent.
Never seen it.
Fuck.
But again, I would never go back to it.
Fair. And that's fair. That's totally fair.
That movie's an hour shorter than The Irishman and Killers of the Flower Moon, but it feels about 5 hours longer.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's fucking yeah.
No, and that's I get it. That is totally fair.
It's just very it's very heavy. It packs a punch.
It does.
It leaves a lasting impression on you.
It's got the Schindler's List level of rewatchability.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right. Like you're not popping in fucking Schindler's List on a Sunday and being like, I'm gonna cry.
I really want to pop in Schindler's List on a Sunday. I have it on 4K. I really want to watch it.
That was the only thing. After sitting and watching the credits, I was just like, holy shit, this was really well done. I even teared up a little bit. I teared up during Oppenheimer. I was just like, wow, this is such a beautiful movie. Like what a time that we're living in, that we're getting these kind of movies from these
cinema.
Right?
Cinema.
Like fucking God bless cinema. Thank God we are getting movies like this from like masters of their craft. Like Scorsese is a master at his craft. This movie is crafted masterfully.
Absolutely.
He's the greatest American director ever, living or dead. I will go to the bank with that.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll let you have it.
Who was a better American director?
Okay, American.
That's why I said American.
Because all I have in the back of my head is trying to figure out what nationality Christopher Nolan is.
He's not American.
He's British.
He's British.
Perfect. Okay, glad we have that. But yes, greatest living American director. This movie is from the greatest. Like, it is a great movie. It will go down as a great movie of his filmography. Top tier of his filmography.
Upper echelon.
Right? I just don't know if I would ever watch the movie again. And for me, that loses a little bit of points.
That's fair.
Because if you go through his other filmography, you got Goodfellas.
Yep.
Goodfellas, you know, cover to cover. Casino, you know, cover to cover.
Yep.
Right? Gangs in
Casino's
New York.
long as fuck.
Gangs in New York, another one.
A lot of people don't like that.
A lot of people don't like that, but I think it's fucking top tier Scorsese. Again, cover to cover. That movie's 3 hours, and I would put that on before I put this movie on.
That's fair. And I look at things on a different scale. Like rewatchability doesn't usually factor into my total ratings. I mean, this one is rewatchable for me, but and I get it though. But like, it's heavy. It's a lot to deal with. It is upper echelon. It's not as easy to just sit down and watch this movie. You kind of have to brace yourself for what you're getting into, but it is a masterful piece of work.
That's a masterpiece.
And 100% 10 out of 10 recommend. Like everybody, it's not just a great film. It's an important film.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you don't want to see it in the theater because you're worried about needing to pee, or you can't just get up to pee, like I did during The Irishman. I fucking booked it, and I peed.
But also, Dave and I are telling you, you won't have to pee.
You won't have to, but if you do, it is coming on Apple TV Plus.
Yes,
it'll probably be there before the holidays.
That was a weird one too, by the way. I was trying to figure out who was actually going to end up streaming that, considering the co-production between Paramount and Apple. It's an Apple production, but they partnered with Paramount to put it in theaters. Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
And then they partnered with Sony to put Napoleon in theaters.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting approach.
Yeah, because I'm assuming, well, they clearly respect cinema.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I don't think they want to distribute themselves.
Got it.
So they're giving it like I think Paramount's more involved than I'm giving them credit for, but a lot of the money was Apple's, and it's streaming on Apple because it's an Apple movie.
Okay. Yeah, no, I thought I read that Paramount was more involved.
And I'm assuming Paramount will be the one that brings it out on 4K or whatever at some point.
Yeah, that's an interesting approach. Instead of like going, like Apple kind of sticking to we figured out streaming. We'll let the studios handle the theatrical part of this. Like the theatrical
for this, like a lot of people are like, oh, it's not going to make $200 million back. Well, it doesn't need to. Theatrical's gravy for them. Yeah. They invested in Scorsese because they want the subscribers who are going to subscribe to watch it, and they want to continue being the dominant streamer since Netflix still hasn't won a Best Picture, but Apple did.
Yeah. And I'm wondering also if this was their way of like sweetening Martin Scorsese over to a different streaming platform than Netflix.
Yeah, because Netflix still distributes, but they only distribute in art house theaters,
exactly.
right? And they don't report box office earnings versus this one.
Interesting. And now they got Scorsese and Scott. Just interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, it was a fun technical aside. I was just curious about it just because it was an interesting co-production joint.
And just to just go off Tony's point, I haven't really wanted to rewatch The Irishman.
Yeah.
But if I had the time right now, I would go see Killers of the Flower Moon again.
Yep.
It's gonna be
entitled to your opinion.
I'm telling you guys right now,
I'm just happy you liked
probably be
it.
in my top 10.
it better be in your top 10.
I'm just happy you liked it because the way you were talking, I thought you fucking hated it, and I was like, "Oh, shit's gonna go down on the podcast."
No, it's Scorsese. I would never hate anything from Scorsese unless it was Silence.
I don't hate it. I dislike it
Strongly.
Yes. What's your favorite that's not Goodfellas and or Taxi Driver and or Casino and or no, you know what? I'll leave Casino in and or Raging Bull.
So what can't be
Goodfellas,
can't be
Taxi Driver, and Raging Bull.
So
not
it can't be those three.
Those three. Tell me your favorite other than those.
Probably Gangs.
Probably Gangs.
What
about you? I know you haven't seen Raging Bull.
No, I haven't. That's a terrible blind spot on my part.
I have the 4K Criterion. Come on over. Or maybe I'll bring it here. Or maybe I'll bring my player here so we can watch in Dolby Vision.
Fair. Probably Departed. Sorry, Departed. How dare I speak ill on its proper pronunciation?
Departed. What would I go with?
Yeah.
I like Gangs a lot and I like Departed a lot. I think I might just throw a curveball and say something super controversial.
Silence.
Bringing Out the Dead.
I was literally going to say it was either going to be Bringing Out the Dead or After Hours.
I still need to see that movie.
It's fucking
on my watch list for a while.
After Hours is very good too, and I really want to see King of Comedy this year.
I've seen King of Comedy.
I've also seen King of Comedy.
I didn't love it.
Is it because when you saw it, it was called Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, I really fucking liked Bringing Out the Dead.
Okay. I need to watch that. I really need to watch that.
It's very, very good. I'm waiting for a 4K to come out.
Nice.
Because it needs it.
I need this.
And I really need to finish watching Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? A fun contest for anyone who's this deep into the podcast. If anyone can tell me where the I need this comes from, I will PayPal them $5.
Nice.
Because that is probably the deepest cut inside joke that the three of us have that no one fucking understands.
It's true.
I just realized what it was.
Thank you. See? Yeah.
That is
because we've been saying it for so long.
It is a deep cut. It's a deep cut.
Oh, jeez.
But I know we've gone on pretty long, but that was a big recommend from all of us. Absolutely. With certain caveats.
But still recommend it.
Still a big recommend.
There's no doubt in anybody's mind at this table that like watch this fucking movie.
Yes.
Maybe only watch it once if you feel like Tony did, but watch this movie at least once in your life.
I agree.
Preferably sooner rather than later.
Yes. Since it's Halloween, what's a scary movie reco you guys have, or what are you guys watching tonight?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Which one?
1974.
Nice.
74.
I have that on 4K.
Well, probably for me, the movie I'm going to end up watching tonight now is When Evil Lurks. But also just a fun mention, and only because I know that you saw it recently. Maybe go watch Saw 10 if you feel like watching something fucking violent.
Giggity. I have feelings about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Excellent.
If you guys are feeling like a comedy about a sex demon,
I'm always feeling that way.
It's true.
There's a little film called Suitable Flesh.
Oh, sure.
That you both should check a peruse.
Okay.
Saw it this past weekend. Okay. It is a banger.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
I think I'm going to watch Night of the Living Dead OG.
Ooh,
Nice.
And
call.
or Rosemary's Baby.
Good choices.
But I think I'm leaning on Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, I would say Night of the Living Dead. Rosemary's Baby's a little bit too much of a slow burn.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Fall
Night of the
asleep.
Living Dead.
It's late.
It's true. Or The Blob. I really want to watch The Blob.
Oh, the
Wait,
Blob.
50s or 80s?
80s.
Yeah, good choice.
80s.
I was thinking about the new Exorcist movie as well.
Believer. See, and that's also where I heard watch When Evil Lurks for a possession movie over Believer.
I just want to believe. You won't be believing.
I just want to see how bad it is.
It's
I really want to.
pretty bad.
And you fucked up and didn't come with us to see the OG the remake, the director's cut of the OG in 35.
It was a banger of a time out there.
You win some, you win. You win some, you lose some.
I've never seen the Playhouse that packed.
That's true.
That was nuts.
Bumping. It was so packed it didn't start for half an hour.
I'm glad I missed it. I missed it. I heard what time.
One.
I heard what
I had
time
to
you
go to
guys.
Aurora the next fucking morning.
I'm glad I checked out.
Watching Jesus fuck you at 11 o'clock at night hits a lot different.
So
different than you think.
It's something.
Yeah,
it is something.
I also might watch Megan because I haven't seen that yet.
Mithrigan?
Meg Thrigan, yeah.
Also, I checked out Nightmare on Elm Street, the OG. That
nice.
movie is a fucking banger.
Yeah, man, it's so good.
And that movie's gruesome.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It packs a punch.
Yeah.
I showed it to Melissa for the first time. She was not okay.
Yeah,
we need to get we need a Dolby Atmos track so you can hear the blood hitting the roof.
Yeah. That scene was a lot more gruesome than I remember it being.
You know, I still think about that scene in Friday. I think it's Friday the 13th Part 2. Which is the one with Kevin Bacon?
First one.
First one. Oh yeah, it was the first one where he's getting the fucking arrow through him. I think about that scene a lot. I don't know why. Just that one lives rent free in my head.
Wait until you see When Evil Lurks.
Yeah.
Oh god,
that scene, buddy.
Fucking wait.
I just think about that part in Jason X where they
Jason in Space?
Yeah, Jason in Space. David Cronenberg's an acts in that movie.
Yeah.
To distract Jason, they put up like a VR thing, and it's two topless girls who are like, "Oh, we're gonna go in the woods and we're gonna sleep. Oh, don't hurt us," type thing. And then he takes them in their sleeping bag and beats them against a tree.
So fucking wild.
Like
good times.
That movie's not good, shit. But that part understood the assignment very, very well.
Yeah.
But tell us what you end up watching on Halloween for some spooky times.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Nice. Happy Halloween, motherfuckers. You know what? Let's cut that. That was rude. That was
so rude. I'm not cutting that. I want to like shame you. How our fans sat here for almost 2 hours, and you're going to tell them they're motherfuckers?
Well, some of them might be.
True. I won't kink shame if you have a MILF fetish. Oh,
it's true. It's true. But yes, happy Halloween.
Can we get the fuck out of here,
watch
guys?
Watch the spooky stuff.
Please do.
We're getting the hell out of here.
We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Yeah,
we'll be back.
And please, Argentinian fans, please let us know you're okay. Please
send us a letter. Send us a note. We love you.
We love you.